Hi and greetings to all of you. I'm Radhika, doctoral student in Organizational Behavior and Human Resources Management at IIM Lucknow. Today, I'm here to narrate my journey to IIM Lucknow with all of you. So let's do this in two parts. In the first video, I shall let you know about myself, my academic background, and my motivation to do PhD. And in the second video, let's discuss the strategies which I followed, how competitive is the interview process, and some points to be kept in mind while preparing for the interviews. Okay? So to begin with, I'm from Kerala, the down southern part. I did my graduation in BCom Finance and Taxation from Sacred Arts College, Tevara. My post graduation was in MCom Business Finance from Pondicherry Central University. So basically, my background is in finance itself. In the first year of my post graduation, I could clear the UGC NET exam in my first attempt. But at that time, I couldn't clear JRF, Junior Research Fellowship. And after that, after first year of my post graduation, I was selected by the Reserve Bank of India for their summer research internship. So that was the spark. That's when I realized that I have an inclination towards research. But frankly speaking, it was difficult for me at that time to handle research at the very first go. But eventually, I completed it and came back to my university. And in the second half of my second year of post graduation, I started reading research papers to prepare my research proposal for my doctoral program. And after second year, I started applying to various IITs, NITs, and central universities. So I attended around 15 to 17 interviews and I couldn't convert any of them. So I believe that most of the interviews went really good. So many times we believe the interview went well, but the interviewers might not be convinced enough. So maybe that's one among the reason, or maybe I didn't have a GRF scorecard. Anyhow, I couldn't clear any of them at the end of the day. So I had to decide between academia and a corporate job. So I joined one among the corporate companies for around 2 weeks, after which I realized that this is not my cup of tea. So I had to come back to academia again. So that is another moment where I realized that I don't want to be anywhere else other than academia. So after this, I decided to focus more on my JRF. So I continued my preparations and to keep myself very much in touch with the subjects, I started working with various academies and which provided coaching for UGC NET exam, then Central University entrance exams, State University entrance exams, etc. In order to be a little more secure, I also applied for the post of assistant professors to various colleges in my native place. The trend changed a little bit and I got selected for almost all the job interviews which I attended. But then I got dubious whether to wait for another year and try for my PhD itself, or whether to take up the job opportunity which I received. So at that particular point of time, my undergrads professor, James sir, advised me not to take up the job. So I was not convinced enough, because why should I not take up something when I don't have anything in my hand and I don't have any other opportunities with me. But he was really good in convincing me later on that you are getting late so as to become great in future. So these words still run in my head and those words kept me going. So I waited again. I did not take up any of the job opportunities which I received, and I focused on my JRF preparations, because at that time that was more important, to stay focused, to be consistent with my preparations, and not to lose my or divert my attention to any other things. So I was very much consistent and did not spare any single day without preparations. And finally there came the day of my JRF exam, and I gave the exam with all my preparations, all what I could do for the exam. And then the results came. So at that point of time, I was so sure that I would clear JRF. But again, I couldn't clear JRF. I lost it by 0.02 percentile. It was more than a heartbreak to me. Literally, it was more than a heartbreak, because no one would like to be in that position after such a long journey of preparation, right? So I was lucky enough to have blessed with people who were supportive enough to bring me back to track. So my friends, family, teachers, and everyone motivated me to come back to the preparations again. So this time I thought of taking a different route, because I thought last time I did whatever I could, but still I couldn't get through the process, right? So I thought there should be something which will lead me to the correct path. So with the advice of one among my friends, I applied to various IIMs and IITs for the post of academic associates and research associates. So this was something new. Then I also was dubious with my area of research, because many a times I had felt that should I stick on to finance, like my specialization is in finance, but still I felt should I search for something new which I would fit better into. So also I decided, with the suggestions from my friend, I decided to try shifting my area. It's not like a random shift, because I had papers of marketing, organizational behavior, and such subjects in my undergrads and post graduation. So I just had to brush up my knowledge, though my it's just that I was not having a specialization, but I still had the papers. So what I tried was, I applied to various IIMs as I mentioned before, and I got calls for the post of academic associate interviews from IIM Indore and IIM Kozhikode. So to Indore, I applied for the post of academic associate in the area of OBHR, and to Kozhikode in the area of marketing. And I got selected for both of the IIMs, and by the time I got call from IIM Kozhikode, I was very well settled in Indore, and I was very comfortable working with my professor, as well as I was very convinced with the subjects. So I started reading the organizational behavior textbook written by Stephen Robbins, Timothy Judge, and Niharika Vora, and then I decided and finalized that okay, now this is my area. So that is how I reached my area of research. That's how I finalized OBHR area. Once I got into my job, I continued my JRF preparations with the same rigor. So, after preparation of around 1.5 years in total, I gave my JRF exam in the month of November 2021. And by this time, IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, and Kozhikode had already started their admission procedures. And my exam went a little harder than the previous attempt, and I was so nervous because of this. And I waited for my results. The results came out in the month of February 2022, and guess what? I cleared JRF this time with very good score. So, what I want to tell to you guys is that never be embarrassed to struggle. There is absolutely no shame in struggling to reach where you want to reach. So, this is what I had to tell you all about my background, my JRF preparations, and my journey till interview preparations. So, I'll discuss with you all about my interview preparations in the upcoming video. Thank you.